Hi everyone, Monica Bodierski here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you viewers for joining me. Every time I put out a video, I am so pleased with all the comments you leave and the fact that, well, that you're watching them at all. It certainly inspires me to keep going. So feel free, again, to comment, email me, visit my website. I'm not hard to find. So let me start by saying, for those of you who don't know me at all, who am I? Well, I am an artist and I'm an author. I'm also an advisor who's been using cards to do that for over 40 years. I know, that's hard to believe. Now, it's been a long time and I don't look a day over 40. So, I've been doing it for a very long time and I love it. I enjoy symbolism so very much. And there is nothing about divination I don't really delve into and enjoy. So there are a few systems that are my favorite, even though cartomancy is at the top of the list. And by that I mean playing cards, oracle cards, Lenormand, and of course, tarot. So, being an artist and loving symbolism, I created my own decks. The House of Shadows Lenormand and the Shadowland Tarot are two of them. I have another deck coming up, so please stay tuned. Also, I have worked in education. I've taught at university in arts and design for about 10 years as a sessional instructor and a professional artist and designer. And I really enjoy sharing things and seeing people have those aha moments, guilty, and just seeing enthusiasm because, you know, once you see other people enthusiastic, it comes back to you and that energy just bounces back and forth, and it's really wonderful, especially if you're a creative person. So, having said that, I'm going to answer a question that I just received last week about why I'm so drawn to the darker things in life when I seem to be a relatively cheery person and have a good sense of humor. Well, I suppose to a certain extent you could call it gallows humor. You know, there's a lot of stress out there and sometimes in here, and one of the ways of dealing with that is to make light of things that frighten us and peer into those shadows and go blah, and then we feel better. You know, that is how it is. It's why we like haunted houses, I think, and movies. They just release some of that anxiety and stress that we have from the things that we can't control, and they can be genuinely frightening. I think shadow work is really vital. It helps us a great deal because once we recognize the things that we've repressed, we become whole and integrated people, much happier, much more tolerant of our own shortcomings and empathetic towards others who may not live up to our expectations as well. We start to see the real humanity and we get away from that perfectionism thing. So, what I wanted to share with you in this video is empowerment, strength, and pride. So I want you to celebrate and be proud of yourself. Yes, that's right. Be proud. Be very proud. That's a hard thing. There seems to be an awful lot of shaming out there and embarrassment, and a lot of that is very passive-aggressive and a raised eyebrow and eye rolls. You know, this is changing a great deal, and I'm glad. I'm glad because we shouldn't be that way. We should lift one another up. It doesn't mean we put up with things that are harmful or hurtful to us. It means we should not, you know, tolerate things that are pretty much bullying in that very micro way. That is not appropriate. And it kind of chews away at us, and we don't even realize, because none of us want to be weak. None of us want to be bothered. This was particularly true when I was growing up. We went out of our way to put up with and tolerate and shrug off everything because otherwise we were afraid we'd be seen as weak and bullied even worse. You know what? It's time just to be proud of who you are and chuckle at your shortcomings. like I do about my own, and not take things so seriously, but genuinely feel empowered by your strengths, your capabilities, and take a look at those, because you need to. You need to see all the good things you do, because you know that negativity seeps in and it's external to us a great deal of the time. We cannot control a society that is really inequitable and really biased and racist and ageist and, ableist, and just keep going, because that is a fact. That is a fact. So I think it's important that while we can't control that, we contribute to making changes to make society more equitable, but we also work on supporting ourselves and try not to internalize some of that external negativity, as difficult as that may be, because it can be really overwhelming. So let's look at things you can be proud of. So I'm going to give you 3 cards pulled at random from my deck to tell you what you should be proud of. Okay, if you're watching this, you are one of the people this message is for. And you can also try this, of course. Pull 3 cards out of your own deck and see what your cards are telling you to be proud of, okay? So here we go. By the way, why be proud? Well, we know why. So we can be visible, we can be confident, we can build our self-esteem, and we are no longer bullied or picked on by anyone, because we don't believe those things about ourselves. So obviously it's nonsense from others. That is true empowerment, okay? So I'm going to take the Shadowland Tarot, my deck. And I tell you shuffling doesn't make any difference, and I tell my clients that because they get nervous about shuffling sometimes. Well, I have to tell you, there's only one thing that kind of makes me tense, because of the energy, not because I think that you should have a particular technique, okay? Seriously, it's the fact that you're touching them that's important. It doesn't matter if you're doing this thing, or hang on, you're doing the full-on, this sort of, oh, there we go, really good at shuffling here. This kind of shuffle. My cards are really thick stock, so it's truly unlikely that you're going to be able to take them and bend them, do that poker thing. That's not in the least distressing. What is occasionally, and I mean rarely, and please forgive me if you've done this, I'm really not picking on you, I'm just being really open about what I find distressing energetically, is when people take the cards of the deck and they split them in half, but then they do this thing, and I'm sorry, I'm not a gaming type casino person, so if this is common, and they'll take them and they'll smash the edges together and jam them and like saw them back and forth until they somehow come together again. You know why I find that disturbing just a little bit? It's just the energy. It's usually from very unhappy people. Okay, and if you're putting that kind of negativity into the cards, you might be affecting the reading a little, and I mean that honestly. Try to be in a calm state of mind when you do this, okay? Okay, so I have actually shuffled them, and I'm going to pull 3 cards off the top here. And here are 3 things for you to take a great deal of pride in, all right? The first is the Star card. And the Star card, you should be proud of your dreams and your aspirations. The fact that you are incredibly hairy, teasing, body positivity. You should be proud of however your body looks, okay? And that you are here and you're one with the universe, and you get to be however you want to be and dream all the things that you want to dream. And apparently you have, so be proud of that, okay? The 10, or the Wheel of Fortune, this is something you can be proud of, that you've navigated those ups and downs in life, and when that wheel turns, you haven't actually flown off, you've been holding on, and you've somehow managed until the wheel rights itself again. You've hung on through thick and thin in many situations, and that takes true resilience and you should be filled with confidence and self-esteem that whatever comes up in your life now, you can deal with because you already have. Just remember those times when you've shown incredible strength, okay? And the third card is one of my all-time faves, I guess because it's inside a gallery here. The Three of Pentacles. I like this card because threes often, the Trinity means coming together. It's very sacred. It's building. It's a triangle. It's ascension, and it's working towards a goal. And be proud of the things that you've thought of, you've written down, you put a timeline to them, and you accomplished them. Look back on those things with a great sense of accomplishment, okay? You're doing what this little creature is doing, the ta-da. Just go back and think of all the things that you have accomplished instead of focusing on the things that you haven't done yet or that you think you failed at, okay? Truly. Do this. Mind strength, okay? Because sometimes those thoughts will sneak in the side door and make us feel terrible. So what I want you to do is really focus on the things that you've accomplished that have worked out well. And even some of the things maybe that didn't work out 100%, be proud of the fact that you tried them, you did them, you said you'd do it, and you did it. That should give you pride, not how many people are applauding, and not external validation for what you've created, but the fact that you did it. So congratulations, everyone out there, for your accomplishments. I hope you give this a try on your own. And because you know what, you cannot be too proud. I think especially, we're not talking about ego either. We're talking about that healthy self-esteem and calm of knowing who you are and that you're a good person and that you belong in this world and you have a lot to contribute. So, with that, have yourselves a wonderful week. Remember who you are and why you're here, and go to it. Whatever it is you're going to do this week, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to comment. Bye-bye.